All right, Pilot Sage fans, this is Pilot Sage coming to you today. It is a great day. It's been a long time since I've broadcast, had a lot going on the past few months. And so today's stream is just a short flight in a 208 from Chehalis Airport to PDX and then off to my personal airport at 98 OR. We're going to be flying a little bit of FS economy today as well as a little bit of Vatsim. Although there's no controllers online right now, we will hope that maybe somebody pops on while we're online. Sit back and enjoy the flight. I'm going to do some talking here. That way we can make sure audio levels are good. Filing my flight plan to Portland. We're going to be flying at about 12,000 feet. So we will file IFR. And we'll, nice clear day, a little bit of overcast. Should clear up as we approach Portland, but we'll see. That all looks good. Got my secondary airport, airspeed. It's a little fast, but we'll call it 70. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and send that in. And we're going to log into XF Economy, and we're going to load up our stuff that we're carrying, our people, and a few it's just air taxi folks today. Someday maybe I'll do a whole thing on setting all that up. There's a few of them out there, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, let's get to flying. Let's get back in the cockpit here. And let's unpause, because I'm not supposed to be paused on Vatsim anyway. So, looks like you should all be able to hear me okay. If for some reason you can't hear, just let me know. I'm going to crank up my voice just a little bit. And we're going to make the flight sounds down. This is the Caravan 208. We are all fired up and ready to go. I have programmed in our flight path. We will be heading to the Battleground VOR and then into a pattern at KPDX. Right, currently I checked FlightAware and they are landing 28 right and left. So that is what we will do. I'm going to turn down. It's a little loud in my ears, so we are going to go here. And we're going to just pop this down just a little bit. Hopefully y'all can hear it okay. Looks good on my meters, so we'll go ahead and call that good. Alright, so let's get underway. There's no one to request taxi from, and there is no traffic in our area from that I can see. So I'm using VAT. Oh, you can't see it there, but I am using VAT Spy to kind of see what's going on, keep an eye on the air, and we're going to get underway. We're going to taxi out of here. Let's see if we can figure out which way the wind is blowing. This plane has an amazing amount of torque. And it looks like we're going to take off from 3-4. We're going to head down here. Oh, I'm sorry, 1-6, not 3-4. Let's do a little taxi cam. It's actually a really well done airplane by Koredo. I believe that's how it's pronounced. They make good airplanes. I do like the fact that this has a reverse engine on it. I think we have enough fuel. We're going to be right at the edge of our fuel, so we'll have to add some more fuel once we get to Portland. And there does not appear to be any traffic in our area. So we are going to set our transponder. I was flying VFR the other day, and so I was right, it is 3-4. We're going to get set up real quick. We're going to squawk 1700 for IFR, and we'll call this 1708. And we're going to squawk likes to roll, doesn't it? Okay. Yeah, let's see. We are going to set our heading and our bug. We have already set our altimeter. Rotate speed is about 81 knots with our current weight. We're going to set our heading bug. We are going to set flaps to 2, and we're going to click a couple up on the vertical, turn that off, and we're going to go heading to start with. And let's get underway. Alright, here we go. We're going to send we are currently on Unicom, so we're going to send a quick KCLS TRFC. Taking off, runway 34. I've actually been making heavy consideration to switching over to Pilot Edge. Seems like there's never anybody on Vatsim when I'm on, and so I'd definitely like to have actual air traffic control. Let's get up some airspeed. Got a little bit of a crosswind here. Rotate, and we're going to go heading, we are now going to pull our prop back a little bit to give us some more torque. And we're going to collapse our flaps. Looks like we've gotten a little loud, so I'm going to turn that back just a little bit. We're going to drop our flaps again. And we are going to now activate our GPS navigation and make our climb to 12,000 feet. Climb at about 1,000 feet per minute. And CLS traffic departing, crossing 1,400 for 12,000. Oh, I just lost my audio. Looks like maybe you all lost your audio. Well, we just lost our audio. It may be permanently that way. Well, I hear a little bit of audio. It's very quiet. Hopefully I got a little short here somewhere. Well, you can still hear me, we just can't hear a lot of the airplane. So hopefully I'll be able to kind of... Looks like I got some problems with my front panel here on my PC. And I don't want to have to stop X-plane and restart the flight. So we'll see what goes here. I'll have to kind of catch it out. Looks like maybe... just me watching. So we have a little bit of audio here, but not a lot. And before we get to 12,000 feet, I probably want to turn on the oxygen. Thought it was getting a little stuffy in here. Yeah, really enjoying X-Plane 11. You know, I have a lower end PC, and so some of the overlay drawing techniques and things that they're using, and the threading, multi-threading, has certainly helped both performance and being able to get a little bit better visual. You can see here Mount St. Helens is pretty distinct, and I believe that's Adams off in the distance, and you only kind of see a piece of it. We should have a good look of Rainier somewhere here. And I get a little chop every once in a while. You know, but you can see Rainier. Whoop. As I cut out of the picture, Rainier here in the background, you can see it's kind of layered. And so it'll change its depth of view or field of view as things go on. I'm going to go back. See, we're still climbing here. We are at 4,000 feet. And climbing at about 1,000 feet per minute. So about the time we reach the peak of our climb, we will be close to starting our descent into Portland, which is fine. I just like to get high up in the air as I'm going into Portland. Yeah, so we're having a good time here, and I think we're going good. Yeah, so what else can I tell you about the aircraft? I really like, so we're climbing here. I'm going to back off the throttle just a hair and increase our climb. We're climbing good. We're climbing at a good speed. You know, this aircraft feature has a lot of features. In fact, I need to turn off my taxi light. Strobe and beacons are on. Don't need any of the anti-icing. The autopilot's pretty simple to use. The comms are all here and simple to use. Yeah, so do 707. Yeah, so this is it's a nice little airplane. It's fun to fly. And what I was going to say about it, it's got lots of features. So one of the cool things is you can change the seat config. Obviously you would do this on the ground, but we can change it in the air as well just to kind of look at it. You can see it'll give us that extra seat in the background, as well as you know, more space if we want to haul more cargo. So that's kind of cool feature. We can do static elements. I can't do them right now because I'm in the air, but you can add all the tow, the pilot cover, and the sights prop. Maybe when we get on the ground in PDX, I'll show that. It's a pretty cool little feature as well. Looks like maybe somebody joined us. If you did, hello, welcome. Let's see here. So I'm trying to figure out. Oh, Fizzy. Long time no see. Few folks I haven't seen for a while. Let's see. Mortabear, welcome aboard. We are on our way to Portland International Airport, vis-a-vis FS Economy and Vatsim, although there's nobody on Vatsim right now. Welcome aboard. Hope you're doing well today. This will be a pretty short flight. We're going to head to 98 OR, which is one of my FBOs in FS Economy. Hope you're having a fantastic day. That's pretty much the features of the aircraft. It's got some cool field of view things that you can do. We can take a look at various cameras that it comes with. Right wing cam, left wing cam, comms and navigation. So it'll switch between those things, which is really cool. I like passenger cam. You can look around as if you're a passenger. Engine controls, and then of course your main view. I have some other views set up as well. And it's been a while since I've streamed. I've had to take a break from streaming for a while. It's a dedicated time, so I've been flying a lot of FS Economy when I can, due to my busy schedule. But I have missed streaming. It's a lot of fun. It's fun talking to a bunch of people. That's about it. I really like the scenery for this default scenery for X-Plane 11. It's pretty decent. You can see Hood there in the background. That's Adams. And of course, it does have that layering that we talked about earlier. As your field of view diminishes, or your like my PCs are kind of weak, so as it runs out of memory, it'll start taking some of the background down in res to keep things that are closer in high res. You have to forgive me, my voice is a little sore today. What else? Let's see, we have got about another 3,000 feet in our climb. All the systems and gauges are looking good. We're getting a little hot in our RPMs here, but that's okay as long as this guy stays away from this area. We should be alright while we're climbing. I'll need to back that off though here pretty soon. Fuel is good. We are low. We should have enough to get us there to PDX, where we will refuel on FS economy. Anyway, I really like this plane. It's actually a really fun plane to fly. This 208 will and can land just about anywhere, especially with that reverse engine. So when you're flying into grass fields or doing some brush flights in Alaska, you certainly can land just about anywhere, even on rougher terrain, which is nice. It's a really versatile airplane. It holds 13 people plus crew. So in FS economy, you can make a pretty decent money. I think right now I have, how much do I have? I have about 7,000 in jobs right now, just sitting there. Most of them are on the en route. I have a couple that are waiting as we travel from one airport to the next. FS economy adds a lot to the sim for me. Gives me something to focus on and do. And one of the cool things I think that FS economy does is it gets me to airports that I wouldn't even think about flying to. So normally, before FS economy, I'd fly from, say, Seattle to PDX, maybe up to Anchorage, over to JFK. I flew to South Africa once, but all main airports, all big airports, and flying jobs in FS economy. What it did is it started taking me out into kind of the more scenic areas that are less developed, and so I'd get to go to tribal lands for dropping tribal people off, for example, say various Native American bands, going out into these really small airports. Some of them really challenging to land at. There's a couple where you've got to pretty much just slam the nose down as you get close to the airport and make a hard turn to get the plane on the ground. And those are really fun and challenging. I would never have found them or done them had I stuck with just flying the flight sim itself, as opposed to flying FS economy, which kind of forced me into these other airports. This is really cool. I do enjoy Vatsim. Again, I think my one main complaint with Vatsim is that for the times that I'm on, which is often Tuesdays, in the middle of the day, there's no controllers on in the space that I like to fly, and I do find the Pacific Northwest pretty light for traffic control, and even the U.S. in general during the day. I don't like to fly in these areas; they're pretty crowded, and of course my network for FSE is over here, so. It kind of limits my options. I thought about moving to Pilot Edge. Pilot Edge obviously has paid controllers, and they are online from I think 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific time, which is cool. That does cover most of my flying times, although sometimes I'll be up really late, which is fine. And so the downside to Pilot Edge, of course, is it costs $20 a month. So I think I will try out the free trial. In fact, I'll probably start it next Tuesday, assuming I get a flight going in. We got some traffic here. KCLS traffic, taxi 216 left. Okay, so we got a airline taking off at Seattle, which doesn't really affect us at the moment. Although it could, if depending on where that person's going. So I'm gonna they don't know yet. Yeah, so let's see who else just joined us. And we got Pat Dog 35. Welcome aboard, sir. Hope you are having a fantastic day. At least I hope it's a sir. I hope I didn't just offend somebody. If I did, I apologize. Welcome aboard. We are currently flying from Chehalis to Portland International Airport. We are approaching our cruise altitude of 12,000 feet. And then we'll descend about 3 minutes after that. It's just kind of a quick up and down. We are in a Caravan. We are in a Caravan 208. It is the Credo 208. It's a very cool aircraft, very versatile, pretty much land anywhere. Let's see, and I'm flying FS Economy right now, which is a really cool kind of addition to Flight Sim. Gives you a purpose and kind of a mission and a way to make money and build up aircraft. This is aircraft actually that I'm currently leasing to own, and yeah, I'm really enjoying FS Economy. It takes me places I would not normally go. And let's see. What else we got here? Yeah, so kind of in the slow area of the flight right now as we approach our cruise altitude. One of the cool things about this aircraft is you can manage your prop speed. You can see as the air thins out, I haven't actually changed my throttle. I haven't changed the bite. Oop, I just cut our engine. Hold on a second. I haven't changed the angle on the prop much, and yet it adjusted itself because of the density of the air. So you can see we're now listed at, I don't know if you can read that, let's zoom in. So that's our takeoff. I usually stay there until I climb out into my my chosen altitude, and then I'll back off to my cruise, which will put me at about I don't know, about 17 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, so our fuel's good for the moment. Like I said, we'll have to refuel in Portland. Welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy the flight. Just kind of going through some of the things I like about X-Plane. I didn't have to make any adjustments for FS Economy to fly X-Plane 11. It all just kind of worked, which was very nice. I was worried, and actually that's what kept me from streaming for a while, was just almost the concern that that I was going to have to reset up everything, and I just did not have time to deal with it. I am a technical director. Well, actually, I'm a senior analyst for a big corporation, and then I also, in my part-time, I am, oh, Pet Dog 35. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it, sir. Hope you're enjoying the flight. We got traffic. We're taking off runway 16 left. Thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate it. And again, welcome aboard. I'm hoping to get a stream in a week to start. I'd like to speed it up and eventually get to where I'm doing 3 1.5 hour streams a week. We'll see how that goes. FS Economy keeps me pretty busy, so I'm trying to kind of combine the two and do some streaming with FS Economy so I can make some money virtually to get my aircraft. Like I said, I'm leasing this one, which is really cool. It's great to be back in streaming. It's been about 2.5-3 months, so hopefully this is the Credo 208. Let's take a look. So on the outside, I did go through a little summary of the plane a little bit earlier, but we can go through it again a little bit since we're leveling off here. And so let's see. Go to the outside cam. This is a fantastic. Oh, we just loaded weather. This is a fantastic little plane. It'll seat 13 plus crew, and it will land just about anywhere. It is a turboprop, and it will, if you reverse engine, you can basically, as soon as the wheels get on the ground, you can stop very, very short. I can't remember what the stop distance is off the top of my head, but if you get in some of the smaller grass fields, you can stop in less than half the distance. So yeah, it's very, very good bush plane and all around kind of transport plane, getting goods and people from short hops to long hops. It's got about a 6.5 hour, 7 hour flight time with a cruising speed of I think 160 knots. True airspeed ends up out, I think, around 180. In fact, we can kind of go look at that. So our true airspeed is about 170 knots right now. at 12,186 feet. In fact, I'm going to save some fuel and just pull that back just a hair. So that's this gauge here, and this is the prop RPMs. You can see I'm just below red line here. It doesn't seem to matter. The plane seems versatile enough to take it. I don't usually get any errors or any failures of parts. What seems to make the biggest difference is the oil temperature, as well as the overall temperature and pressure. So this is our fuel, and we are pretty low on fuel. I forgot to fuel up before we won't go, although I'm relatively certain we got enough to get to our destination. I was busy setting up the stream. So hopefully that answers your question. Great aircraft. I love flying it. I fly it pretty much all the time now. I do have a Cessna 172 in FS economy that I kind of let other people fly, but I do fly it home every once in a while. It is a pay plane, although it's pretty cheap. Let's see if I can find it. 208. Next plane. They have it. It's $29.95 for the plane. And I spend a lot of time flying different planes, and in this particular instance for FS economy, this one seemed to be the one that gets rented a lot, and it also seemed to be the one that was the cheapest for the amount of passengers and cargo I could move from location to location, and so that was. Second, I'm gonna have to get prepped here. That was kind of my deciding factor. So this is one of the ones I fly a lot. We are gonna make a turn to 120. I gotta check my charts real quick. Sky vector. Apologize, I have not set up my secondary screen yet. Hopefully I'll have that up and running for next. There's PDX for my next. And we want ILS, runway 28, right, land next to the water. So my radio's already set. We are gonna make at battleground 120 it looks like. Let's go check real quick. How are we doing? We crossed battleground yet? Almost crossing battleground. 4 minutes, so I got some time. Yeah, I feel like Karidu makes some pretty solid planes. I haven't heard anybody complain about them yet. Where are we going? Crater. There it is. We're going to go crater 2 star. That means at battleground we are going to make oh, that's not the one I want. There it is. Helens 5. So coming in off battlegrounds, we're going to come over Helens and we are going to turn 110. So we are going to make a heading change of 1, 12, 11, 10, and that will bring us parallel to the runway, take us in over Troutdale, and then we'll come back in for the ILS, which I believe I've already got set, but I'll double check. Yeah, 11130. is the VOR for the ILS at runway 28 right at PDX Airport. And as we hit battleground, we're going to drop down to about 8,000 feet is where they usually send me. And then we are going to climb from there down to 5,000. And once we make our turn, we'll descend down to 3,200 and get visual for the runway. So, Pat Dog, I hope that answered your question. Probably more than maybe you wanted to know. This is a default cloud cover in X-Plane. Looks really good from a distance. Obviously, just kind of goes gray once you go into it. But it doesn't look too bad considering my computer is not the greatest on the planet. Okay. Even the air traffic controller in X-Plane 11 isn't so bad, except for it appears to have a bug when you get on the ground. When you get on the ground, it's going to not give you directions to your gate, and then won't give you the option to actually contact ground control. At least it does for me, and so it gets mad at you and kills your clearance, which isn't a big deal because you're playing against the computer anyway at that point, but still kind of breaks that immersion. I hope they get it fixed at some point. Nobody currently on Vatsim. Hopefully these clouds aren't super low. Let's go take a quick look at our weather. Oops, that's the wrong one. I'll just go look at the METAR. KPDX METAR. Let's see. 4 knots. 10 scattered. 10-mile visibility. Scattered at 2. It's kind of cloudy, but that's alright. We'll be fine. Once we break down out of the cloud cover, we'll be fine. As soon as we hit battleground here, we're gonna flip this little switch here to change to heading mode. Just so it's kind of clear that I'm not exactly cheating by using the map. This does have a pretty good map display on it. That'll work. And so there. There we go. So now we're going to head the other direction. And we're going to come down at 1,000 feet per minute, down to 8,000 feet. probably the best freeware plane out there that I know of is the 737. I haven't tried a whole lot of the smaller planes, but there's a few good ones out there as far as I know. There's not a lot with full 3D cockpits, although there's some. I have a Dash 8 that I purchased as well. It's pretty cheap. Works pretty nice. I think it's worth purchasing an airplane once you know what you like to fly. Obviously, you could spend a lot of money if you're trying to purchase a lot of planes that, one after another, because you like flying, kind of random ones. There's Portland Airport down there. However, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I'd recommend using freeware planes to figure out what you like to fly. X-Plane 11 now comes with some pretty good jets, some pretty good private aircraft, which give you an idea of kind of what kind of flying you like to do, and then move from there to doing purchasing something that you're going to fly on a more regular basis. So, we're going to back off our speed a little bit. Put this. We're going to come out till we're past Troutdale, and we will make a southbound turn. Around there. Doesn't have to be exact, and use the turn on our ILS. We're in VOR mode now. Airport is going 2-8. Around there. It's 2.7, but it's not quite 2.8, so I could look up the exact heading, I guess. Oops. Something wrong on this one. Back off our speed and our bite just a little bit. And we're going to go down to 5,000 now. I'm just going to let people know really quick. Motor Bearer, thank you so much. Appreciate your follow. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching and listening today. Listening to me ramble on, I hope isn't putting you to sleep. I know sometimes I can get a little monotone. Try to change up my tone a little bit, keep everybody awake and paying attention. I really like flying in the Pacific Northwest, by the way. This is the gorge. Of course, I live in this area, so I know this area really well. The landmarks I understand and see. Nice. I like the little alien face there. I love this area. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. You got so much to do. There's mountains everywhere. There's hiking everywhere. There's fishing everywhere. If you like to hunt, there's a lot of hunting area. Where are we at here on our map? So I don't talk 20 minutes past my turn. Another minute or two. And we're going to keep going down to our final altitude here, which starts at about 34. We're going to back off our speed just a little bit. So anyway, I'm really familiar with the area, and I yeah, I know, Mortar Bear, absolutely. This PC, the same exact PC that I'm running, it's an AMD. I know, but bang for buck, it's a good board. And it had a lot of hard time running X-Plane 10 with any kind of graphics at all to speak of. So, you know, I'd constantly have people on my stream be like, "Oh, dude, your frame rate sucks," and it did. I completely agree with them. You know, now there's still a little bit of tearing here and there, but you know, this is all default stuff. I haven't loaded anything for X-Plane 11, and look at this. You got Mount Hood here. You got some decent clouds. The Columbia River looks great. In fact, that looks almost perfect. So, you know, there's no real complaints. You know, if you want some more realism to add some actual, you know, real scenery, I've seen people do that. There's tricks for doing that, and I think it looks great. But honestly, I don't know that I want the overhead. Everything seems to be running pretty well. All right, time to make my turn. So we are gonna go this direction as we continue to descend. We've lost a little bit of our descent rate, so I'm gonna drop us just a little bit more. We want to kind of skirt around the outside of the Troutdale Airport, which should be right in here somewhere. There it is right there. So we're going to kind of come around the outside of that and line up for 2-8 right. You're flying from GER. Where's GER? Oh, Japan. Bolts. 5519. Welcome aboard. No, this is actually Portland. That's Mount Hood there in the background. So we're flying into Portland International Airport in Oregon. In a Cessna 208 by Karidu. This is one of their HD aircraft. It's a pretty aircraft. Several different skins that come with it. And yeah, it's a great aircraft. Land it just about anywhere. Germany, awesome. I thought maybe that's what you meant, but I didn't want to make sure. Fuji's nice, actually. I flew down there on X-Plane 11 as well. It's actually a really fun flights. Anything tropical is obviously kind of fun to fly around in. And we're going to need to line up here. Hopefully I don't completely botch the landing with a bunch of people watching. That would be embarrassing. Yeah, this is my home flight area for FS Economy. And so making some money while I'm talking to y'all in my game, which is happy times. We're going to be making our turn here shortly. How's our descent going here? We're good. Make our turn soon. Okay. KPDX traffic. Turning. Final. Runway. Runway. 28 left. Nope, sorry. Correction. 28 right. What are we doing here? Fly more G airplanes. I'm obsessed with commercials. Yeah, Bolts. I got kind of FS Economy is absolutely 100% free. So I got to kind of keep an eye on my gauge here so I know when to turn. Actually, I'm going to start my turn here in just a second. It's absolutely free. It's fseconomy.net. It is a great little community. It interacts using a plugin, which you'll see once I get on the ground as well. Similar to really easy to install. It's great. Yeah, it's a little. There's a lot to learn at first, but it's definitely worth the worth the time. It's easy to make money if you take your time and learn how to make money. It's also very easy to spend a little too much money. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get lined up okay. Trying to buy things too early. You need to make sure you have some money in reserve. I'd like to have about 20% in reserve to make sure I can pay for fuel and all of that kind of thing. My advice is join a virtual airline. Within the team, I fly for a group called Chartered, and I have my own group as well, which is Pacific Airways, which is what I'm flying right now. Where am I? Should be out here somewhere. There's the runway out in front of us. I am going to take over the aircraft now and get us lined up. We're going to go flaps 5, trim the nose down a little bit. Yeah, so I actually got obsessed with flying the commercial airlines, and they were fun, but I did get bored. No, you don't have to have Pilot Edge for FS Economy. It's completely separate. In fact, I'm flying Vatsim right now, but you don't even have to do that. You can just fly on your own. Leaving 38 130 mile east of PDX via the Hood 3 arrival. It's at Jobot transition. He is lining up for ILS on 28 right. Yeah, and the cool thing about FS Economy is and I was telling this earlier, kind of before you jumped on, it makes me fly to airports I would never fly to, into areas that I would never fly to. So I did a lot of, it caused me to fly into Alaska and flying around into Troutdale, for example. Why would I ever fly into Troutdale if I'm on a big airliner? You just wouldn't. And so that's really cool. The little farm airport drop-offs and things like that. It makes it a lot of fun, and you get to see a lot of scenery that you wouldn't normally get to see. Oh, you don't have to wait till I'm on the ground. I can chit-chat. Bolts 5519, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Always good to have people to talk to when I'm flying as opposed to hanging out with myself. I should probably let on final 28 right. And we're going to keep our airspeed up since we got another plane coming in, although he's a good distance off at the moment. And PDX, I just loaded this scenery, and so if it gets choppy, I hope it doesn't. But if it does, hopefully it won't cause us too much problems. The other downside right now for me is, as you can see, I am saving for a set of rudder pedals. So right now the computer is covering the rudder for me, which I don't like because it usually doesn't correct the way that I like it to correct, and so especially when there's a crosswind, it keeps trying to not let me crab, which makes it really hard to line up on the runway in a quote-unquote safe manner. Looks like I'm a little low. And we are going to drop our flaps down a little bit, which is going to pull our speed. And it's going to bring us back up a little bit. So we'll go down, trim down a little bit. And so far our speed's good. Kind of the sweet spot's around 90 knots. has you get a good landing. But you'll see once I get on the ground, assuming I do it safely here, you'll see how fast this plane can actually stop and get off the runway. No, there's a few. There's actually a few. There's a couple of online options for communicating, for speaking, and actually flying with other people networked. X-Plane 11 actually has a network mode, so you could, in theory, have a LAN party or use Hamachi or something like that to connect with a friend and play networked. You can use Vatsim, which is what I'm using right now, although there's no controllers online. And once we get on the ground, I'll see if I can bring it up for you. But you can do VATSIM, and they actually have really skilled controllers, very fairly realistic controllers. You know, you get one every once in a while. They're human beings, and they're not paid. They're just people who like to play it being air traffic controllers. And so, you know, you can get a nice one and a not so nice one, although I haven't seen a not nice one. I'm not willing to help you if you're kind of struggling a little bit. It's really not hard. The hardest part probably is getting clearance, and once you understand how that works, it's pretty much the same every time. Pilot Edge, there's always controllers online, but it's limited to California and Northwest America, so Oregon, Washington, and California, I think, are the only service areas. They might service Hawaii, I'd have to look. Now I'm a little high, so we're going to drop our speed just a little bit. And we're going to let the nose come down just a little bit. And we're going to get line back up. Oh, Captain Antgar. I don't know anything about FS Cloud. I will be happy to take a look at it. We're way too high, so I'm going to do a bush landing here, which obviously they would not normally be happy with. Is that a baby SG on your wall? Let's see. Oh, you're talking about my guitars. No, well, kind of. It's a knockoff. A friend of mine, actually, the electronics in it are shorting out, and so I'm actually a technical director for a church, so I do audio engineering and that kind of thing. And so I was going to fix it for him. He moved to California and he gave it to me as a gift. See, there's another plane here on the ground at PDX. There's those signals there. They'll show up here in a little moment. There we go. Now we're on a good. I'm going to bring my flaps in now. Change my prop to not bite so much. And we're going to trim the nose down, up a little bit, so that we've got a good glide slope here. Player sight for all three major flight sims. I'll have to check it out. And you said that was FS Cloud. We'll take a look at that, and maybe I'll do a review on it here one night. Somebody else coming into Portland here. N8001N. November 8001 November. I'm a little low, but that's okay. This plane likes to kind of glide down anyway, so we'll be alright. This is the free PDX scenery that is on X-Plane's site. I haven't tried it yet in X-Plane 11. You can see it is a little choppy. I think the scenery overall looks really good, but it's always been a little resource heavy. Give me a second here and I'll land the aircraft. Cool. I actually did not know about that. Does FS Cloud have any kind of air traffic control as well, or is it strictly just multiplayer flying? We're just going to drop throttle, pull up the nose,
frames just took a dump. Which is making it really hard to steer. So that's how long it takes to stop. I mean, literally just feet. I'm actually took off the brakes so we could keep moving. I think I'm going to go back to the default airport, even though this looks really pretty. Certainly makes it hard to fly. Let me get off the runway and then I'll... By the way, how does it sound? I'm just re-getting set up, and so not sure how things are sounding to y'all. Fizzy, sup, bro? Long time no see. I got super busy during the past few months, and let me just note that I'm on the ground here. In case you weren't aware, I had some audio issues at the beginning, so we're kind of light on audio right now. Second. Clear. Runway. 28 left. Nope, 28 right. Let's go get parked. Awesome, 5x5 is good. It's good. Alright, stop. The only thing I seem to have a hard time with is actually getting this plane to stop once it's in motion. Little interesting thing about FS economy is you have to actually stop your props in order to get the flight to be considered finished. And you can't be moving, so not sure why it still thinks I'm definitely not moving anymore. Huh. Come on. Atlanta to Tokyo. Yeah, that's a long flight, Fizzy. Come on. No, I don't want to cancel. Why am I not? I'm on the ground. My engines are not running. Well, let's see if I shut down. Off. 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 Huh. Let's try. Just bring it back up. Well, it looks like it's not going to let me stop the flight, so we'll just cancel it and I'll run it again later. That's actually never happened to me before, so I'm not sure what's going on there. For whatever reason it... Huh. Alright, squawk box, we're on the ground. So one of the cool things that you can do on this guy here... Yeah, let me do it while the plane is on. Something is still... Hold on a second here. Yeah, battery's off. Turn the bus off. Avionics are on standby. Off. Don't want the ignition. They're good. Turn off the oxygen. It's like the prop is stuck. Let's turn the volume up and see what we hear. Prop shouldn't be spinning right now either. Huh. Weird. For FS economy, no, you don't. There's no comms involved at all. It's a standalone kind of web-based thing. It's just a plugin. It's I think it does use Python, but that shouldn't be a problem on a Mac, I don't think. What on earth is going on with this plane? It's like it's trying to start. Alright. Let's go through here. Lost my audio again. Yeah, that's what I thought. FS Economy, though, it's pretty fun. I've had a lot of fun. Static. It won't let me do the static elements while the plane's running, but the plane's not running, so that's what's kind of confusing me. All the doors are open there, which is kind of cool. It's a neat little feature of the plane. What on earth? Batteries are... Let's try again. They're on. Off. On. Normal. On. Off. Off. And off. Off. I know there's probably a prop lock on here somewhere, and I'm just not knowing. It's like it's trying to fire, like the starter's on, but the starter is off. Let's try that. An amazing drone pilot. No, unfortunately, you can't make real money with FS Economy. It's all simulated money. That's part of the reason why there's so much. Alright. Let's reset. You guys are going to have to bear with me as I reset X-Plane here. So I'm going to fade to black. I'll still be here talking. You don't want to sit and watch my screen reboot, probably. Quit. Alright. Yeah, there's lots of videos on FSE. Not a lot on actually making money, although there was a couple of good ones out there. I think what I found is just optimizing my flights so that you know, my plane's full as much as possible, and not staying in the air too long. So figuring out how much fuel is going to cost roughly, and trying to get as much out of that fuel as I can. So I'll usually make somewhere around 100 nautical mile hops, maybe less. In some cases 30 or 40. In the case of my network, it runs from 98 OR, which is a little ranch out in towards the coast, seaside, and then up to Chehalis and Auburn, and then back down to Chehalis and to PDX, and then over to 98 OR. Can complete that usually in about an hour and a half and make somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000. I have another run that I do for charter airlines, one of the groups, the group that I fly for in FS Economy, and can typically lay out about 50,000 in their Dash 8200. Flying along to New Orleans and back down the course back to Florida, and so that's a good way for me to make some quick cash. So I'm sitting with 2 planes currently, paying my current one off, and let's go sit over back where we were. That would be like here. haven't figured out in here how to get how to start cold and dark on the ramp yet. I haven't paid that much attention to it. Okay, so anyway, go back in. Well, don't want to do the same flight again, and so I'm up for some ideas. What time is it? I do have to, oh, I got to leave here actually pretty soon. So what I'll do is maybe just kind of do some flying around. Maybe we will could hop into the F-16 and do some flying in that. Hopefully the audio will start working again here after this reboot. I did notice that X-Plane 11 doesn't load any faster than X-Plane 10, or doesn't seem to. Seems to take just as long. Sorry for the blank screen. Oh, I was going to show you. Let's see if I can. Let's add a window capture. Create a new one. We'll call this VAT. Oh, except I don't want. And we want an application capture. So we are going to do display capture. And we're going to do. No, I don't want to do display. Media source image. Source. Window capture. There you go. So it is not showing you the full screen for whatever reason, but this is Vatsim, VatSpy, so I can see all who's online. Someone calling me. Sorry. Alright, we do have audio, so that's good. VatSpy. Okay. It's weird it doesn't show you the actual contents, though. That's unfortunate. Okay, so. Okay. We are all loaded up. Let's see if I can. I'll have to go get the manual. I haven't started this guy. Cold and dark this plane yet, so I'll have to figure out. Starter is off. So now I should be able to do that. And go to the outside. So, got lots of little guys moving around here. So it's got all the little goodies for when it's sitting, not in use. Just kind of a cool little feature. So I started out earlier, and then I'll come in and I'll take it all off. Close up the doors, and they all kind of electronically close up, which is really kind of neat. And we'll get our blocks taken off. So you take those out, and you can add or remove the cargo pod, which is kind of a cool feature as well. And then tint or not tint the windows. Anyway, really solid plane. Pretty much use it anywhere. Has de-icing. Yeah, so let's see, maybe we'll see if we got the web feature fixed here. I'll come over here. Let's add browser source. Okay. And we are going to go FS. So this is the site. Let's see if I can. We'll just capture my screen here. So this is FS Economy. Here's my. I'll bring that over here so I can make sure you guys can actually see something. Control. Alright. So there's the plane. And so here are the current flights that I have, their dollar value, and the plane that I'm using. Get details about the plane, cruise speed, your groups that you fly for. These are the different people that I fly for. This is my airline. This is the plane that I'm leasing and how much I have left to pay on it. Leasing it from a guy that actually flies with Crooked Charters, and he's selling it to me for no interest, basically. So just kind of let me pay it off as I fly. It's a really cool community. I know that John Fly, I believe, does FS Economy as well as a few others. So that is that. And let's see. Let's see if we can figure out how to start this guy up. So I know we're going to need fuel. And we are going to need to get the prop and a little bit of feather. And let's see, we're going to need our battery on. We need our generator on. We're going to need our fuel booster on. And normal on. Avionics on. What do we got here? Oil pressure. And I think we're going to feather a little bit. There it goes. Alright, so now she's starting up. And we don't need the starter on anymore. still no traffic controllers on. There's another person landing here. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I think we're just gonna go PDX to PDX. We're gonna do some flying around the area. I know. Let's go to... Oh, I know, right, Fizzy? I mean, you saw mine. I'm sitting right around 200,000 between my game and what's in the bank. Let me check the volume levels in there. This feels pretty loud. Let's see, where is my speed? Where we go? Yeah, that looks pretty loud. Okay, is that better, guys? A little less engine noise there, I hope. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go fly just around the PDX airport and just kind of fly around. So let me go on here and go send flight pan PDX to X2 980R, which is the airport that I'm kind of building, whatever. And we're only going to go to 3,000 feet. So, yeah, so if we take a look around the airport a little bit, what's a good way to do that? I definitely need more viewers. But, I quit streaming for a while, so I wouldn't expect, that to kick right back up right away. So, but definitely more viewers would be a handy thing. If for no other reason, it gives me more people to talk to. So let's go out, take a look at this airport a little bit. Yeah, they did a really good job. The gentleman that built this did a good job on the scenery. I might edit a little bit. It's very accurate for Portland. This is my home airport, so everything looks really, really good, all the way out to the Air National Guard stands and things over here. The one thing I would say is there's probably too many aircraft on the ground, although Portland is a really busy airport. It does make it a little clunky or chunky as far as memory space, and for me, I've got a pretty lower end computer, and hopefully that'll change at some point, but definitely not going to change anytime soon. What is really cool is this right here. This is our transit system. So this is actually, even though it shows, I think it shows a oh no, so it's got our little MAX trains here. So in Portland we have a transit system called the MAX, and let's see if we can look in there. And it actually does follow right along there. And then out this way there's some buildings and IKEA. So this is pretty accurate scenery within about a mile and a half of the airport, and so it's appreciated. There's the 205 bridge. There's Hood in the background. Vancouver across the way, so that's Vancouver, Washington. I actually work over here somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, so you got the I-5 bridge over here, although they did not model that, which I was a little disappointed in. I would have liked to have seen the I-5 bridge modeled here. Would have been a cool addition. So let's see, what time is it? All right, I'm going to have to get going here in about 10-15 minutes. So I think what I'll do is I will hop back up off of Vatsim. So if I have to disconnect, I don't get in trouble. And then let's just go for a quick flight. Get up in the air. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll circle around Portland Airport. And Corrido did say that they were intending to update this aircraft with the newer sound engine, but we'll see. Again, I think they make pretty solid planes. I've really enjoyed streaming. Haven't had a chance to do it for a while, so I'm having a good time. Oh, I've been drinking. Technically I should stop there and check for traffic, but since I'm flying by myself, it shouldn't really matter. I don't have AI aircraft turned on. So we'll just pretend like everything's A-okay. I don't need a lot of takeoff space, so we're going to just drop our flaps here to 2. And I think we're going to do a rolling start, which this aircraft does really good at. And I'm just going to VFR fly. I'm not going to worry about programming the computers, although I can't exactly remember where that airport is, so I may need to plug it in once we're in the air. You can see quite a bit of tearing going on there, at least on my screen. Maybe it's not as bad on the compiled version over there, but it's certainly pretty heavy here. So the default airport isn't bad, it's just it's not as nice as this one. And so let's go fly to Portland, see if he's done any work over there. This is also very illegal, but that's okay. Again, nobody else flying around, so we can kind of look around the airport. All the gates are in the right spot. He did a really good job actually creating this airport. So we're going to fly over here to I-5. And we're going to go follow the Willamette here. Any one of you see and hear the resemble the... I don't know what that is. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, having the doors open. What is... I can't quite read that because I got my thing too small now. Yeah. Alright, let's just put on the heading and altitude. Alright. X drop, which allows you to drop. Oh, really? Well, that's kind of cool. That's really cool. I didn't know there was a skydiver plugin. That's pretty neat. What is Nilo Neillogial, Neillogial, mortar bear. What is that? There's some pretty big landmark things in here that I think could be added at some point. You got the Fremont Bridge, which is this really high bridge. You got Portland is known for all the bridges that we have, and for it not to be present is, I mean, they're there. You can see them. There's bridges that go across in the right spaces, but the bridges don't look anything like the actual bridges, which would be pretty cool because they're pretty cool looking. In fact, if you watch Flash. On Netflix or whatever regular station that's on. I think it's WB. If you watch that on TV, that city, Star City, there is indeed Portland. Oh, the link got deleted, Fizzy. You'll have to whisper it to me, and I can. Yeah, there you go. At some point I should probably just make you a moderator so you can drop links in there for me. There's downtown Portland. Not really accurate, but you know, they got the radio towers up here, and generally good to go. Doing here for time. I just thought I don't need to be late. I got an event that I have to go to here, so I'll have to drop off in probably about 10 minutes or so. Yeah, Fizzy was my very first follower. I think he mentioned that, and he's pretty much popped on every time that I streamed, except for once. But I think he was on doing something. But yeah, he's been watching me pretty loyally, and I've actually been offline now for what, about 2 months, Fizzy, maybe 3. Enough that all my videos have disappeared, and I didn't download them, so I lost them all. This is okay. They weren't all that great anyway. We're coming up over the Sylvan Hills here. My home would be over in this space somewhere. There's Beaverton, so my house is somewhere up over in here somewhere. 3 months, yeah, it's been a while. I got super busy coming into the Easter season specifically, and we ended up joining with and purchasing the building of another church in Denver, and so we now have 2 churches that we manage, and keeps me pretty busy. That's kind of slowed down a little bit. Kind of got everything kind of running like clockwork, and our volunteers where they need to be, and so we'll be busting out a new live streaming ministry. In fact, one of the things that we're looking at getting is a tool called Boxcast. And what's really cool about Boxcast is it allows you to stream to Facebook, to YouTube, and a few other Roku channels, Apple channels, and a few other custom sources if you want, all at the same time, for a pretty modest fee. And so if it turns out that it's a pretty good tool, what I do want to figure out is if it will stream to Twitch. Because if it'll stream to Twitch, you could stream to YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook all at the same time. How cool would that be? So you could have your friends watching you on Facebook, streaming, flying around. You can have your friends, you could have your YouTube followers and your Twitch followers all kind of watching in the same space. The other cool thing is it does give you the ability to embed into a web page, as well as has its own integrated chat client. So I'm looking at it, and we'll see how it goes, and if we can do some of the stuff I want with it. It's a pretty cool little device. Maybe what I'll do is I'll set down at Hillsboro here. Where is Hillsboro? It should be somewhere out in front of me. It's actually right out in front of me. Somewhere. Should be over here if this is really 26. Well, we lost a few people. Looks like they bailed on us. Just Mortar Bear and Fizzy now, but that's okay. I'm getting ready to leave here pretty soon. Hopefully you guys have been semi-entertained, and I've enjoyed flying the Pilot Sage craziness. I don't know what I'll do next time. I don't know if I'll do an FS economy flight or if I'll hop back in a big jumbo jet. I haven't tried out some of the new aircraft, some of the new jets that came with X-Plane 11 yet. I haven't actually tried flying them, and so I may do that. I may do that for a stream next time, and try some of the default aircraft in X-Plane and see where that leads me. I'm thinking about going to Pilot Edge. I think I talked about that a little bit earlier. Definitely would like to check out the FS Cloud. I haven't actually seen that, so that will be something too. Let's get a visual on this air. So that is definitely not 26. It's kind of running the wrong way if it's 26. So might actually be 217. Yeah, that's what that was. Ooh, alright. Let's show the bush pilot capabilities of this aircraft. We're going to go in for a hard, fast landing and a hard, fast stop. Watch this. And you can even take it. This thing can. You can pretty much point the nose at the ground. I've actually done some reading online about it, the real aircraft, not this one in particular, and it is just phenomenal at really steep, hard approach landings, and so pretty cool little aircraft. I'm going to crash here if I'm not careful because I'm trying to talk and adjust things at the same time. It was funny. I was doing a stream in Alaska with a Dash 8. It was one of the first streams that I did. And I was super excited that people were on my stream and chatting with me and talking with me. And we started talking about X-Plane 11 and it coming out. And I managed to... Oh, we are seriously losing speed here. Add some bite. Alright, there we go. And I forgot to lower the landing gear, so I ended up doing a belly landing at Juneau. It was pretty funny. Because I had actually geared down, but what I didn't realize is that I was over 200 knots when I did it, and so the gear actually didn't come down, and so I wasn't really paying attention to my lights and whatnot. So Portland Airport's actually a cool little airport, or I mean Hillsboro Airport. This is where the Hillsboro International Air Show is held every year, and usually in end of July, beginning of August. It is a fantastic air show, so if you're in the area at that time, I highly recommend it. We typically have one of the big air teams show up, and when we do, one year we actually had Stealth do a flyby, so... And of course the Air Guard always, the 152nd Air Wing there at Portland always makes, oh, I'm going to tip the plane, always makes a appearance to kick off the air show, which is really cool of them. They do a flyby. I'm just going to stop right on the runway. And let's pull our fuel. Oops. Alright, we are on the ground. I think it's just you and I now. Oh, no. Mortar Bear is still around. That's cool. Alright, Mortar Bear, Fizzy, thanks for watching and joining my stream for the day. I am kind of getting set up here. It's been great hanging out with you, and good to see you again, Fizzy, and thanks for following Morty Bear. See you next time. Definitely going to try to do this a little bit every Tuesday, as well as I would like to get up to 3 streams a week eventually and really build up my viewership. So if you guys have any recommendations of stuff you'd like to see, or planes you'd like to look at, if I own them and or they're not horribly expensive, maybe I'll pick one up. Add-ons, perfectly willing to do some add-ons if somebody has particular add-ons that they want. Just let me know, shoot me a message, and I'll see what I can do. Until next time, have a good evening.